Lieutenant Commander Jake Morrison sat at his desk inside the Terran Defense Station. The station floated in space around Mars, watching for any danger that might come toward Earth. Jake had been doing this job for 3 years now. Most days were quiet. Today started like any other day. The red planet Mars turned slowly below the station. Jake could see its dusty surface through the big windows. He liked watching Mars. It reminded him that humans had come so far from their home on Earth. Now they had bases on Mars, stations in space, and ships that could travel faster than light. Jake checked his screens. They showed him signals from all over the solar system. Ships talked to each other using radio waves. Space stations sent reports. Everything looked normal. Then something strange happened. A new signal appeared on his screen. It was very weak and hard to hear. The signal came from far away, much farther than any human ship had ever gone. Jake turned up the volume and listened carefully. The sound was not like anything he had heard before. The signal was not in English. It was not in any human language at all. But there was something about it that made Jake think it was important. The signal had patterns in it, numbers and math that repeated over and over. Jake knew that smart beings used math to talk to each other across space. Jake called Dr. Lisa Rodriguez on his radio. Lisa was the best person on the station for understanding new languages. She worked in the science section of the station. Her job was to study how aliens might try to talk to humans. "Lisa, you need to come to the communication room right now," Jake said into his radio. "I have something very strange here." Lisa arrived 5 minutes later. She was a short woman with dark hair and smart eyes. She carried a tablet computer and looked very excited. Lisa loved her job because she had always wanted to meet beings from other worlds. "What do you have for me, Jake?" Lisa asked. Jake played the signal for her. Lisa listened with her eyes closed. She was trying to hear every small sound in the signal. After a few minutes, she opened her eyes and smiled. "This is it, Jake. This is what we have been waiting for. This signal is from aliens. Real aliens." Jake felt his heart beat faster. "Are you sure?" "I am sure. Listen to the pattern. They are using numbers to talk to us. Basic math that any smart being would know. 1 + 1 = 2. 2 + 2 = 4. They are trying to show us they are intelligent." Lisa connected her computer to Jake's equipment. She started working on the alien signal. Her fingers moved fast over the keyboard. Numbers and symbols filled her screen. "Where is this signal coming from?" Lisa asked. Jake checked his star maps. "The signal is coming from the Kepler 442 system that is very far away, about 1,200 light years from Earth." Lisa kept working on the signal. She tried different ways to understand what the aliens were saying. After 2 hours, she made a big discovery. "Jake, they are not just saying hello. This is a distress call. They need help." "Help? What kind of help?" Lisa pointed to her screen. "They are using physics equations to tell us their story. Their ship is in trouble. It is trapped near a dying star. The star is pulling their ship toward it, and they cannot escape." Jake looked at the numbers on Lisa's screen. Even though he was not a scientist, he could see that the aliens were in real danger. The numbers showed that their ship was getting closer and closer to the dangerous star. "How long do they have?" Jake asked. Lisa did more calculations. "Not long, maybe 2 or 3 days before their ship is destroyed." Jake knew he had to tell his commander about this right away. This was the most important thing that had ever happened to the human race. Aliens were real, and they needed help from Earth. Jake called Captain Ben Carter. Ben was the best pilot in the entire Earth fleet. He had fought in the solar wars and had saved more lives than any other pilot. If anyone could help the aliens, it would be Ben. Ben arrived at the communication room. 30 minutes later, he was a tall man with gray hair and calm eyes. Ben had seen many dangerous situations, but he had never dealt with aliens before. Lisa explained everything to Ben. She showed him the alien signal and what it meant. Ben listened carefully and asked good questions. "Can we talk back to them?" Ben asked. "Yes, I think so. If we use the same math system they are using, they should understand us." Ben nodded. "Do it. Tell them that Earth received their message. Tell them we want to help. Lisa worked on her computer for an hour. Then she sent a message back to the aliens. The message used the same number patterns the aliens had used. It said, Earth hears you. Earth will help. Wait for us. They waited for 3 hours. Then a new signal came from the aliens. Lisa translated it quickly. They got our message, Lisa said with excitement. They are very happy. They say their ship is called the Harmony's Echo. They are from something called the Villani Republic. They came to their star system to study science, but something went wrong. Ben read the translation on Lisa's screen. The aliens had sent much more information this time. They told Earth about their people and their ship. They explained that they had studied human history and knew that humans were very good at rescuing people in danger. They specifically asked for human help, Lisa said. They know about our military and our rescue missions. They think we can save them when no one else can. Ben felt proud but also worried. This would be humanity's first contact with aliens. It would also be the most dangerous rescue mission ever attempted. The alien ship was 1,200 light years away. No human had ever traveled that far from Earth, Ben called. Admiral Patricia Hayes at Fleet Command on Earth. Admiral Hayes was in charge of all Earth's military ships. She would decide if the rescue mission could happen. The call took 30 minutes. Ben explained everything to Admiral Hayes. She asked many questions and wanted to see all the information about the alien signal. Finally, Admiral Hayes made her decision. Captain Carter, you are ordered to take the Phoenix Rising to the Kepler 442 system. You will attempt to rescue the alien ship. This mission is top secret until further notice. The Phoenix Rising was Earth's newest and most advanced ship. It had the best faster-than-light engine ever built. It also had powerful weapons and strong shields. If any ship could make this journey, it would be the Phoenix Rising. Ben felt excited and nervous at the same time. This mission would change everything for the human race. If it worked, humans would have alien friends. If it failed, the first aliens to contact Earth would die, and it would be his fault. Jake, Lisa, you did great work today. This is the most important day in human history. Ben left the communication room to prepare for his mission. He would need to choose his crew carefully. The journey to save the aliens would be long and dangerous. Only the best people could go. As Ben walked toward the hangar where the Phoenix Rising waited, he thought about what lay ahead. Somewhere in the darkness of space, alien beings were waiting for rescue. They had called across the vast emptiness between stars, asking for help from a species they had never met. Ben Carter would not let them down. He was Earth's best pilot, and he would prove that humans kept their promises, no matter how far they had to travel to do it. The rescue mission was about to begin. Captain Ben Carter stood in the hangar of the Terran Defense Station. Before him sat the Phoenix Rising, the most advanced ship Earth had ever built. The ship was sleek and powerful, with engines that could fold space itself. Ben had flown many ships in his career, but none like this one. Ben needed to choose his crew carefully. This mission would take them farther from Earth than any human had ever gone. He picked 3 people he trusted completely. Lieutenant Amy Jackson would be his co-pilot. Amy was young but very skilled. She had graduated first in her class from the Space Academy. She could fly any ship and stay calm in dangerous situations. Amy had short blonde hair and quick green eyes that missed nothing. Sergeant Danny Brooks would be their engineer. Danny knew machines better than anyone Ben had ever met. He could fix anything that broke and make improvements to make things work better. Danny was a big man with strong hands and a gentle voice. He always stayed positive, even when things went wrong. Dr. Kevin Price would be their medical officer. Kevin had served with Ben during the Solar Wars. He had saved many lives and knew how to work under pressure. Kevin was quiet and thoughtful, with dark skin and kind eyes. He carried medical equipment that could help both humans and possibly aliens. The 4 crew members met in the Phoenix Rising's main room. The ship's computer spoke to them in a pleasant female voice. Ben had nicknamed the computer Phoenix because it seemed to have its own personality. Phoenix, show us our route to the Kepler 442 system, Ben said. A 3-dimensional map appeared in the air above them. It showed their solar system and the path they would take through space. The journey would cover 1,200 light years of distance, so vast that normal ships would take thousands of years to travel it. The journey will take 3 days using our quantum fold drive, Phoenix said. We will make several jumps through folded space. Each jump will cover about 400 light years. Amy studied the map carefully. I have never flown through folded space before. What should we expect? The jumps feel strange, Phoenix explained. Time and space bend around the ship. Some people feel sick. Others see colors that do not exist. But the ship will keep you safe. Danny checked all the ship's systems. Everything was working perfectly. The Phoenix Rising had enough food and water for 2 weeks. The weapons were charged and ready. The engines hummed with power. Dr. Price loaded medical supplies and equipment into the ship's medical bay. He brought medicine for humans and basic supplies that might help aliens. No one knew what alien bodies would need, so Kevin prepared for many possibilities. Are we ready to launch? Ben asked his crew. All systems are good, Danny said. Navigation is set, Amy reported. Medical bay is prepared, Kevin added. Ben sat in the captain's chair and started the launch sequence. Phoenix requests permission to depart from Mars Station. Permission granted. Phoenix Rising. Good luck on your mission. The ship lifted off from the hangar floor and moved slowly out into space. Mars grew smaller behind them as they headed toward empty space where they could make their first jump, beginning first quantum fold jump in 10 seconds, Phoenix announced. All crew, please hold on. The universe seemed to twist around them. Colors flashed past the windows that hurt too. Look at! Ben felt like he was falling and flying at the same time. The sensation lasted only a few seconds. Then everything returned to normal. Jump complete, Phoenix said. We have traveled 400 light years. 2 more jumps to reach our destination. Amy looked out the window at the strange stars around them. We are farther from Earth than any human has ever been. During the 3-day journey, they received more messages from the alien ship. Dr. Lisa Rodriguez had stayed at Mars Station to help translate the alien signals. She sent the translations to the Phoenix Rising. The alien crew told them more about their people. The Villani were a peaceful race that loved to learn about the universe. They had been exploring space for thousands of years, but they were scientists, not warriors. Their ship, the Harmony's Echo, was built for research, not fighting the alien. Captain was named Science Director Zeph Carr. The message described him as an old and wise leader who had spent his life studying stars and planets. His navigation officer was Yolanthe, a young female who was very good at flying ships through dangerous space. They sound like good people, Kevin said after reading the latest translation. They came to study a star, not to hurt anyone. The aliens sent pictures of themselves to the Phoenix Rising. The Villani were tall and thin, with blue-gray skin and large dark eyes. They had 4 arms instead of 2, and their hands had long fingers that were perfect for working with delicate equipment. They breathed a different mix of gases than humans, so meeting them would be complicated. Danny, can we modify our air system to help them? Ben asked. Danny studied the information about Villani biology. I think so. Their atmosphere has more nitrogen and less oxygen than ours. I can set up a separate area of the ship with the right air mixture. On the 2nd day of their journey, they made their 2nd quantum fold jump. This time, the strange feelings were not as bad. The crew was getting used to traveling through folded space. More messages came from the aliens. They explained what had happened to their ship. The Harmony's Echo had come to study what they thought was a normal neutron star. Neutron stars were very dense and had powerful gravity, but scientists could study them safely from a distance. But this star was different. When the alien ship got close, something went wrong with their engines. The star's gravity grabbed their ship and would not let go. Worse, the star was collapsing and becoming even more dangerous. Soon it would crush the alien ship or pull it. Inside, where nothing could survive, they have been trapped for 5 days, Amy said, reading the latest message. Their shields are getting weaker. They estimate 18 hours before their ship is destroyed. Ben did quick math in his head. We will arrive with about 6 hours to spare. That is not much time. The 3rd quantum fold jump brought them to the Kepler 442 system. Ben had seen many star systems in his career, but this one was like nothing he had ever imagined. The main star was dying. It glowed red and angry, throwing off streams of gas and energy. Near it was a smaller, denser star that was pulling the gas toward itself. The smaller star spun very fast and shot beams of deadly radiation into space. There, Amy pointed at her screen. I can see their ship. The Harmony's Echo was caught between the two stars. The alien ship was beautiful, with curved lines and smooth surfaces that looked like art, but Ben could see it was in terrible danger. The ship was being stretched by the gravity of both stars. Parts of it were already damaged. Phoenix, can you contact the alien ship directly? Ben asked. Yes, Captain. I am receiving their signal now. A new voice came through the ship's speakers. It was deep and musical, very different from human voices. Phoenix translated the words into English as the alien spoke. Human ship Phoenix rising. This is Science Director Zefkar of the Harmony's Echo. We are grateful beyond words that you came to help us. We did not know if any species would travel so far to rescue strangers. Ben activated the communication system. Science Director Zefkar, this is Captain Ben Carter. We are here to get you out of this situation. Can you tell us exactly what is wrong with your ship? Our main engines were damaged when we were caught by the star's gravity. We cannot break free on our own. Our shields are failing, and we estimate 6 hours before our ship is destroyed. Ben looked at his crew. They all had determined expression. They had come this far, and they would not give up now. Zethkar, we are going to study your situation and make a plan. Humans do not abandon people who need help. We will find a way to save your ship and your crew. Thank you, Captain Carter. Your species has a reputation for achieving the impossible. We are honored to meet you, even in these circumstances. Ben turned to his crew. You heard him. Let's figure out how to do the impossible. Captain Ben Carter stared at the screen showing the alien ship trapped between the two stars. Something about the situation felt wrong. Stars did not just grab ships and hold them. There had to be another reason why the Harmony's Echo could not escape. Amy, run a full scan of the area around both stars. Ben ordered. Look for anything that should not be there. Lieutenant Amy Jackson worked at her controls, sending sensor beams in all directions. The Phoenix Rising's advanced sensors could detect many things that other ships could not see. After 10 minutes, Amy found something unusual. Captain, there are metal objects hiding near the smaller star. They are hard to see because they are very dark, but they are definitely artificial. Someone built them. Ben felt his heart sink. How many objects? I count 12 large ones and maybe 30 smaller ones. They are positioned around both stars in a pattern. It looks like they are controlling the gravity fields. Science Director. Zefkar's voice came through the communication system. Captain Carter, we have discovered the same thing. These objects are not natural. They are machines, very old machines. How old? Ben asked. Our scientists estimate they have been here for at least 50,000 years. They were built by a civilization that no longer exists. We believe they are automatic defense systems designed to protect this star system. Dr. Kevin Price looked up from his medical station. Protected from what? From us, Zethkar replied sadly. From any species that tries to enter this system. The machines think all space travelers are invaders who must be destroyed. Ben understood now. The alien ship had triggered an ancient trap when they entered the system. The old machines had used the star's gravity to capture the Harmony's Echo, and now they were slowly crushing it. Zethkar, why did you come to this system if it was so dangerous? We did not know about the machines. From far away, this looked like a normal binary star system. We came to study the neutron star's magnetic field. We thought we were safe. Sergeant Danny Brooks was studying the sensor data on his engineering station. Captain, these machines are incredibly advanced. They have been running automatically for 50,000 years without breaking down. They must have powerful computers controlling them. Ben walked over to Danny's station. Can we fight them? That is the problem. Look at this. Danny showed Ben the sensor readings. The machines are scanning us right now. They are learning about our ship, our weapons, our capabilities. Every second we stay here, they know more about it. Amy's voice was tense. Captain, I am detecting movement. Some of the smaller machines are heading toward us. Ben rushed to the command chair. How many? 6 machines coming from different directions. They will reach us in 15 minutes. Ben had fought many battles, but never against an enemy that was thousands of years old. These machines had probably destroyed hundreds of ships over the centuries. They had learned from every battle. Zefkar, have you tried to fight these machines? Yes, Captain. When we first realized we were trapped, we fired our mining lasers at them. The machines adapted quickly. They learned to deflect our weapons and then sent small drones to damage our engines. We are scientists, not warriors. We do not have the weapons or experience to fight them. Ben thought about the situation. The machines were smart, but they were also very old. They had been built to fight the technology and tactics of 50,000 years ago. Maybe human military tactics would surprise them. Phoenix, what do you know about these machines? Ben asked the ship's computer. Analyzing sensor data now, Captain. The machines appear to use mathematical algorithms to predict enemy behavior. They calculate the most likely actions an enemy will take and prepare countermeasures. However, their predictions are based on logical, efficient military tactics. What does that mean? It means they expect enemies to behave in predictable ways. They assume all opponents will use the most sensible strategy available. Ben smiled for the first time since arriving in the system. That is their weakness. Humans do not always do the most sensible thing. Sometimes we do crazy things that work. The first of the attacking machines came into view. It was a dark, triangular shape about the size of a fighter jet. Red lights blinked along its surface, and Ben could see weapon ports opening. Amy, evasive maneuvers. Do not follow any pattern. Be completely random. Amy's hands flew over her. Controls. The Phoenix Rising suddenly spun to the left, then dove down, then shot upward at an angle. She made the ship dance through space in ways that made no sense. The attacking machine fired energy beams where it thought the Phoenix Rising would be, but the ship was never there. The ancient computer brain tried to calculate Amy's next move, but there was no logic to predict. It works, Amy laughed. The machine cannot hit us because it does not understand what we are doing. Ben opened communication with the Harmony's Echo Zethkar. We need to work together. Can your ship still move at all? Yes, but very slowly. Our engines are damaged but not completely destroyed. Good. I have an idea, but we need to combine human tactics with your technology. Can you put one of your engineers on the communication line? A new voice came through the speakers. This one was higher and spoke very quickly. This is Engineer Kethmori. I am ready to help. Kethmori, what kind of shield technology does your ship have? We have quantum barriers that can deflect energy and small objects. They are much more advanced than anything in your historical records. Danny looked up from his station. Captain, if we could link our weapon systems to their shield technology, we might be able to create something the machines have never seen before. Ben nodded. That is exactly what I was thinking. Kethmori, can you modify your shields to work with our ship? It is possible, but it will take time. Maybe 2 hours. We do not have 2 hours. The machines are adapting to our random movements. Look, Ben pointed at the screen. The attacking machines were no longer trying to predict where the Phoenix Rising would go. Instead, they were surrounding it, getting ready to fire from all directions at once. We need a different plan, Ben announced. Amy, take us closer to the Harmony's Echo. Danny, prepare to dock with their ship. Captain, that is very dangerous, Kevin warned. If we get too close to those stars, we could be trapped too. I know, but we need to work directly with the alien crew. We cannot solve this problem by staying apart. Ben opened communication with both the alien ship and Mars station. Dr. Rodriguez, are you receiving our signal? Lisa Rodriguez's voice came through clearly. Yes, Captain, I have been monitoring your communications with the aliens. Lisa, we need you to help us coordinate with the Vellani crew. We are going to attempt something that has never been tried before. We need to combine human and alien technology to fight these machines. What do you need me to do? Translate technical information back and forth as fast as possible. We are going to jury-rig a solution using parts from both ships. Ben turned to HFY Science Director. Are you willing to let human engineers work on your ship? Captain Carter, we trust you completely. Your species came across the galaxy to help strangers. We will do anything you ask. The Phoenix Rising moved carefully toward the Harmony's Echo. The ancient machines followed, but they seemed confused by the human ship's approach to the alien vessel. Their programming had no experience with two different species working together. That is it, Ben said with growing excitement. The machines do not understand cooperation between different species. They were built by a single civilization that probably never met aliens. They cannot predict what we will do when we work together. Danny was already preparing the docking equipment. Captain, this is going to be the strangest repair job in history. The machines are learning our individual patterns, Ben explained to his crew, but they cannot learn to predict what happens when humans and aliens combine their knowledge. We are going to do something that has never been done before. The Phoenix Rising connected to the Harmony's Echo with a flexible tunnel. For the first time in history, humans and aliens would work side by side to solve a problem that neither species could handle alone. Ben looked at his crew. Are you ready to make history? They all nodded. The real work was about to begin. Captain Ben Carter floated through the connecting tunnel between the Phoenix Rising and the Harmony's Echo. He had never been inside an alien ship before. The walls were smooth and curved, with soft blue lights that pulsed like a heartbeat. The air smelled different, like metal and flowers mixed together. Sergeant Danny Brooks followed behind Ben, carrying a bag of human tools and equipment. Dr. Kevin Price came next with medical supplies, ready to help if anyone got hurt during the dangerous work ahead. At the end of the tunnel, they met their first aliens face to face. Science Director Zethkar was tall and graceful, with blue-gray skin that seemed to shimmer in the strange light. His forearms moved independently as he worked on a control panel. His large, dark eyes showed intelligence and kindness. Captain Carter, welcome aboard the Harmony's Echo, Zethkar said. His voice was deep and musical, like wind through tall trees. This is a historic moment for both our species. Next to him stood Engineer Keth Mori, who was smaller and younger than Zethkar. Her skin was darker blue, and her forehands moved incredibly fast over her equipment. She looked up at the humans with curiosity and excitement. Your species is exactly as we imagined, Keth Mori said. Your historical records show you are very good at solving problems in creative ways. Ben smiled. We are about to test that reputation. How much time do we have? 4 hours before our shields failed completely, Zethkar replied. Maybe 5 if we are very lucky. Danny opened his bag and pulled out human tools. Show me your shield generators. We need to connect them to our weapon system somehow. Keth Mori led Danny to a room filled with equipment that looked like nothing humans had ever built. Crystals grew from metal surfaces and energy flowed through tubes that seemed to be made of light itself. Danny stared at everything with wonder. How does any of this work? Danny asked. Your technology uses electricity and metal, Keth Mori explained. Ours uses quantum energy and living crystals. They are very different, but both follow the same basic laws of physics. While Danny and Keth Mori worked on the technical problems, Ben talked to Zethkar about strategy. The ancient machines were still surrounding both ships, but they had stopped attacking. They seemed to be studying this new situation. The machines are confused, Zethkar observed. They have never seen two different species cooperate before. Their programming does not know how to respond. Ben nodded. That gives us an advantage, but not for long. They will eventually figure out how to attack us both. Through the ship's windows, Ben could see the deadly stars. The larger red star was throwing off streams of hot gas. The smaller neutron star was spinning so fast it looked like a deadly lighthouse, sending beams of radiation across space. Between them, both ships were being slowly pulled apart by gravity. Lieutenant Amy Jackson's voice came through Ben's radio. Captain, I am seeing more machine activity. 12 large ones are moving toward us from the outer system. How long before they arrive? Ben asked. 2 hours, maybe less. Ben felt the pressure of time running out. Danny, How is the work going? Danny's voice came from deep inside the alien ship. This is the most amazing technology I have ever seen, but I think I can make it work with our systems. Kethmori is brilliant. She understands our equipment almost as well as I do. Dr. Kevin Price was helping where he could, but mostly he was preparing for medical emergencies. Working with dangerous equipment in a gravity field that was trying to tear the ships apart was very risky. I have prepared medical stations on both ships, Kevin reported. If anyone gets hurt, I can treat humans or aliens. Kethmori taught me about Vellani biology. After an hour of intense work, Danny and Kethmori made a breakthrough. They had found a way to connect the human weapon systems to the alien shield technology. The result would be something completely new. Captain, you need to see this, Danny, called. Ben floated to the engineering section where Danny and Kethmori were working. They had built a strange device that was part human technology and part alien crystals. Wires and energy tubes connected the two ship systems in ways that should not have been possible. What does it do? Ben asked. It turns our weapons into tools, Kethmori explained. Instead of destroying things, they will create a quantum field that can push objects through space. Danny was grinning with excitement. We can use this to break free from the star's gravity, but it will take perfect timing and cooperation between both crews. Ben studied the hybrid device. What are the risks? If we make a mistake, both ships could be destroyed instantly, Zethkar said honestly. The energy levels we are working with are very dangerous. And if we do nothing, we will definitely be destroyed when our shields fail. Ben made his decision. We try it. What do you need from us? Kethmori and Danny explained their plan. The Phoenix Rising would use its engines to create a specific flight pattern around the Harmony's Echo. At the same time, the alien ship would activate its modified shields and the hybrid weapon system. The combination would create a bubble of twisted space around both ships. This bubble would be pushed away from the stars by the quantum field like a soap bubble being blown by the wind. The tricky part is the timing, Danny explained. Both ships have to move in perfect synchronization. If we are off by even a second, the quantum field will collapse and crush us. Ben opened communication with Amy back on the Phoenix Rising. Amy, how are you at precision flying? I am the best pilot you have got after you. Captain, what do you need me to do? Ben explained. The plan, Amy would have to fly the Phoenix Rising in a complex pattern while the alien ship activated its systems. Both ships would be moving through space that was being twisted by gravity and quantum energy. That sounds completely crazy, Amy said after hearing the plan. Exactly, Ben replied. That is why it might work. The machines cannot predict crazy. Dr. Rodriguez's voice came through from Mars Station. Captain, I have been analyzing the machine behavior. They are definitely confused by your cooperation with the aliens. But the larger machines that are approaching have more advanced programming. They might be able to adapt. How long do we have before they figure us out? Ben asked. Maybe an hour. After they arrive, then they will probably attack both ships at once. Ben looked at his watch. The large machines would arrive in 90 minutes. The rescue plan would take at least an hour to set up properly. They would have almost no margin for error. Zethkar, are your people ready to risk everything on this plan? The alien leader's large eyes showed determination. Captain, your species traveled across the galaxy to help strangers. We will trust you with our lives. Ben returned to the Phoenix, Rising to coordinate with Amy. The next hour was spent checking and double-checking every system. Both crews worked together, sharing knowledge and expertise across the species barrier. The large ancient machines arrived. Exactly when Amy had predicted, they were much bigger than the first attackers, and they moved with more purpose. Ben could see weapon ports opening along their dark surfaces. All stations prepare for quantum field activation, Ben announced. This is going to be the most dangerous thing any of us have ever attempted. Amy's hands were steady on the controls. Phoenix Rising, ready for precision flight pattern. Kethmori's voice came from the alien ship. Harmony's Echo ready for quantum field generation. Ben took a deep breath. Begin the operation. Amy, start the flight pattern. Kethmori, activate the field on my mark. The Phoenix Rising began to move in a complex spiral around the alien ship. Amy's flying was perfect. keeping the ship in exactly the right position despite the chaotic gravity fields. Quantum field activation in 3, 2, 1 mark. The space around both ships suddenly filled with colors that had no names. Reality twisted and bent as the hybrid human-alien technology created forces that had never existed before. Ben felt the universe spin around him as both ships were pushed away from the deadly stars by the power of their combined ingenuity. The universe exploded with impossible colors as the quantum field activated around both ships. Captain Ben Carter felt like he was flying through a rainbow that was alive and moving. The Phoenix Rising shook violently as forces beyond human understanding pushed it away from the deadly stars. Lieutenant Amy Jackson fought to keep the ship steady while space itself twisted around them. Her hands gripped the controls so tightly her knuckles turned white. "Captain, I am losing navigation. The quantum field is interfering with all our instruments." Through the swirling colors, Ben could see the harmony's echoes spinning alongside. Then the alien ship's graceful curves seemed to bend and stretch in the strange energy field. Both ships were being carried away from the neutron star-like leaves caught in a cosmic wind. "Kethmori, how long can you maintain the field?" Ben asked over the communication system. The alien engineer's voice was strained. "The crystals are overheating. Maybe 2 more minutes before they crack." Ben watched the sensor readings that were still working. They were moving away from the stars, but not fast enough. When the quantum field collapsed, they would still be caught in the gravity well. They needed more speed. "Danny, can we boost the field somehow?" Sergeant Danny Brooks was studying the hybrid device they had built. "I have an idea, but it is very dangerous. We could overload our own engines and feed that energy into the alien crystals. What would happen to our ship? Our faster-than-light drive would be destroyed. We would be stuck here until someone came to rescue us." Ben thought about the choice. They could save the alien ship but strand themselves. Or they could play it safe and probably watch both ships get destroyed when the quantum field failed. "Do it," Ben decided. "We came here to save lives. We are not leaving without the Vellani crew." Danny worked quickly to reroute power from the Phoenix Rising's engines into the quantum field. Warning lights flashed throughout the ship as systems overloaded. The ship groaned and shook as more energy than it was designed to handle flowed through its circuits. The quantum field around both ships suddenly became much brighter and more powerful. Ben felt a tremendous push as they accelerated away from the stars. Through the swirling energy, he could see the ancient machines falling behind, unable to follow into the chaotic field. "It is working!" Zethkar's voice came through the communication system. "We are breaking free from the gravity." Well, but the victory came at a cost. Alarms were sounding throughout the Phoenix Rising as critical systems failed. The ship's main computer, Phoenix, spoke in a voice that was starting to break up. "Warning, engine overload detected. Faster-than-light drive offline. Life support system stable. Hull integrity holding." Dr. Kevin Price checked the status of both crews. "Everyone is alive, but we have injured people on both ships. The stress of the quantum field has hurt some of the aliens." Ben opened communication with the Harmony's echo. "Zethkar, what is your ship's condition? We are free from the gravity well, but our engines are completely destroyed. We cannot move under our own power. Many of our crew are injured, but we are alive thanks to your sacrifice." Ben looked around at his crew. Amy was exhausted from the difficult flying. Danny was burned from working with overloaded equipment. Kevin was already preparing to treat injuries on both ships. They had succeeded in their mission, but now they were stranded far from Earth. Captain Amy said quietly, "How are we going to get home?" Before Ben could answer, Kethmora's excited voice came through the speakers. "Captain Carter, we have a solution. Our faster-than-light drive is damaged but not destroyed. With some modifications, we can adapt it to push both ships home together. How long would that take?" "Several days to make the repairs, but we can do it if your engineer helps us. The combination of human and alien technology that saved us can also get us home." Ben smiled for the first time since the rescue began. "Danny, are you up for another impossible engineering project?" "After what we just accomplished, I think we can do anything," Danny replied. "Over the next week, The crews of both ships worked together more closely than any humans and aliens had ever worked before. They shared food, stories, and knowledge. The humans learned about Villani science and philosophy. The aliens learned about human history and culture. Dr. Kevin Price worked with the Villani medical team to treat the injured. He discovered that alien and human medicine could help each other in unexpected ways. Some human treatments worked on Villani bodies, and some alien techniques could help humans heal faster. Amy learned to fly using Villani navigation methods, which were more precise than human systems. She taught the aliens about human combat, flying, showing them how to be unpredictable in dangerous situations. Danny and Keth Mori became close friends as they worked to repair both ships. They created new hybrid technologies that neither species could have built alone. Their collaboration produced innovations that amazed scientists from both worlds. Ben and Zethkar spent hours talking about their peoples and their dreams for the future. The alien leader was fascinated by human determination and willingness to take risks for others. Ben was impressed by Villani wisdom and their dedication to learning and peaceful exploration. When the repairs were finished, both ships were very different from when they had started. The Phoenix Rising had alien technology integrated into its systems. The Harmony's Echo had human modifications that made it stronger and more flexible. "We are ready for the journey home," Keth Mori announced. "The hybrid drive should carry both ships back to your solar system in 4 days." The trip back to Earth was much different from the original journey. Instead of traveling through folded space, they moved through normal space using a combination of human and alien technology. The ride was smooth and comfortable. During the journey, Zethkar made an important announcement. "Captain Carter, the Villani Republic has authorized me to invite Earth to join the Galactic Research Collective. Your species has proven that you are ready to take your place among the civilized worlds." Ben felt a surge of pride. What does that mean for humanity? It means Earth will have access to the knowledge and friendship of 47 different species. In return, humans can share their unique perspective and their remarkable ability to solve impossible problems. When they arrived at Mars Station, Admiral Patricia Hayes was waiting with a fleet of ships. News of the rescue mission had spread throughout human space. Ben Carter and his crew were already being called heroes. The reunion was emotional. Families welcomed their loved ones home. Scientists eager to learn about alien technologies swarmed both ships. Diplomats prepared for humanity's first official contact with galactic civilization. Admiral Hayes promoted Ben to admiral and gave him command of the new Human Villani Cooperative Space Command. His mission would be to explore the galaxy with mixed crews of humans and aliens, helping other species in need and building friendships across the stars. Amy Jackson became the first human to graduate from the Villani Navigation Academy. Danny Brooks was invited to study on the Villani homeworld, where he would help design new hybrid technologies. Kevin Price established the first interspecies medical program, training doctors to treat both human and alien patients. 6 months later, Admiral Ben Carter stood on the bridge of his new ship, the Friendship. Half of his crew was human, and half was Villani. They had just received a distress call from a distant star system where another species needed help. "Set course for the Tau Ceti system," Ben ordered. "Maximum speed." As the ship jumped into faster-than-light travel, Ben thought about how much had changed. Humanity was no longer alone in the universe. They had found their place among the stars, not as conquerors, but as friends and protectors throughout the galaxy. Other species were beginning to hear stories about the humans who had traveled across impossible distances to save strangers. Earth's reputation was spreading when the impossible needed to be accomplished, when hope seemed lost, when no one else could help. Humans would come. The age of human exploration had truly begun, and the universe would never be the same.